Hello beautiful people, welcome to my first travel blog. In this video, I'm going to share some of the highlights as well as a few pointers if you plan on going to Las Vegas in 2021. This is Anne, Fabulous Life 101. Thanks for watching, and hey, if you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and the bell notifications. On this channel, we cover everything from meditation to makeup to travel, whatever makes your life more fabulous. Okay, on with the video. Like most travelers to Las Vegas, we flew into McCarran International Airport. We were able to pack lightly, everything was in our carry-ons, so immediately upon landing, we headed to the ride-share area on the second floor. We were anticipating getting a Lyft or an Uber, but when we arrived in the pickup area, there were lots of people waiting for their Lyfts and Ubers. And there were cabs lined up. So we just went ahead and jumped in a cab and headed to our destination. Another tip about using Lyfts and Ubers in Las Vegas. Unlike in other cities, you cannot just request a pickup in front of any building or any street corner. Rather, there are designated pickup and drop-up areas throughout the city. You must be in one of those areas to be picked up, and you must be dropped off also in one of the designated areas. Also, be prepared to wait, because it generally takes 15 to 30 minutes to get a Lyft or an Uber. Okay, I'm at the Las Vegas Monorail station waiting to ride the monorail. Today we're going to explore the Wynn and Fashion Show Mall, maybe a few more places. There are two really great options for getting around in Las Vegas. One is the monorail and the other is the Deuce Bus. The monorail is the fastest and the most fun. However, it only rides up the east side of the Strip, and it has very limited number of stops. It starts behind the MGM Grand Casino, stops at several different casinos at the convention center, and ends at the Stratosphere. It doesn't take you any further. It doesn't take you to Freemont Street, and it doesn't really take you to places on the west side of the Strip. On the other hand, the Deuce Bus rides up and down Las Vegas Boulevard. It starts south of Mandalay Bay and heads all the way up to Freemont Street. It stops at multiple different locations convenient to all of the casinos, to Fashion Show Mall, to downtown Vegas and Fremont Street. However, the buses can get crowded. It is subject to traffic, so they can be kind of slow. But it's still a wonderful, affordable way to get around in Las Vegas. Both the monorail and the Deuce Bus have apps associated with them where you can download a pass and swipe it from your phone. Now on to our trip. We stayed at the Paris this time. I highly recommend staying along the Strip, even if you're not into gambling. It's just a great place to be in the center of the action. I loved the Paris. The room was beautiful. The bathroom had both a tub and a shower and lots of counter space. So I would highly recommend it. Although next time we probably will stay someplace different just because all of the resorts have something special to offer. Wherever you're staying along the Strip, I recommend walking through several of the resorts. You'll find some beautiful scenery and amazing architecture. One of my favorite places is the conservatory inside the Bellagio. It's absolutely free to walk through. You can dine at the Sadelle's restaurant right in the conservatory. Even if you don't dine or you don't shop there, just take a peek. You won't regret it. Other must-sees in my book, the Wynn, with the beautiful waterfalls and couture shopping. Caesar's Palace with the amazing forum shops, plus all of the gorgeous sculptures and fountains. You also must check out the Venetian. The canals are duplications of Venice itself. You might want to take a gondola ride. Plus it has amazing shopping and restaurants. Now a lot of the resorts, including the Link, the Flamingo, Paris where we stayed, Planet Hollywood, Bally's, Harrah's, a bunch of others are owned by Caesars. So if you play in the casinos and you get back some Caesars bucks, they're good at all of these resorts. So it's fun to go and visit them interchangeably. You might also want to check out Hollywood at the MGM Grand, the Big Apple at New York, ancient Egypt at the Luxor, the tropical island feel of Mandalay Bay, King Arthur's Court at Excalibur, and so many other fantastic resorts. Getting ready to go in the water at the pool. Due to the desert heat, the pools are one of the most enjoyable aspects of Las Vegas. Now, when we were there due to COVID restrictions, you must be a registered guest at any of the resorts in order to swim in the pool. So that is something to consider when making a reservation. Of course, another thing Vegas is really famous for is the food. Whatever your cuisine of choice, Vegas has it. Numerous famous chefs have signature restaurants on the Strip or in downtown or elsewhere. Our first stop after checking in was Sushi Samba. Located in the Venetian, this international restaurant blends Japanese, Brazilian, and Peruvian cuisine. It was absolutely delicious. I think partly because our bodies were still functioning on East Coast time most of the time we were in Vegas, we found breakfast to be an excellent time to explore the different restaurants and cuisines. One morning we had wonderful pastries at Brioche by Guy Savoy, located in the Paris where we were staying. Another morning we went to the Earth Cafe inside the Wynn. A third morning we had Egg Slut at Cosmopolitan. And the final day in Vegas, we went to Siddell's inside the Bellagio and had a beautiful breakfast. For our night of fine dining, we decided on Spago. We lucked out because on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, there happened to be a table available. For our appetizer, we had Wolfgang Puck's famous smoked salmon pizza. The whole experience was fantastic. Of course, one of my favorite things to do in Vegas is shopping. If you love browsing the couture, it's all there. Hermes, Chanel, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, anything you're interested in, you can find it in Vegas. Of course, there are outlets, there are discount stores as well. If you love shopping, you have to stop by the Bellagio, the Wynn, the Forum Shops at Caesars, and of course, Fashion Show Mall. Plus, there's so many others. Pretty much anything you're looking for, you can find it in Vegas. And of course, Vegas is most famous for the shows. While most of the major recording artists will be returning in the fall, many of them at the new Resorts Casino about to open, there's still plenty of options if you go right now. The show we chose to see was Piff the Magic Dragon, located at the Flamingo. This show is a lot of fun and I highly recommend it. After seeing Piff, we decided to do something even more adventurous, zip lining. If you enjoy zip lining and would like to give it a try, there's several options in Las Vegas. The one we chose was located right at the link, next door to the Flamingo, so we didn't have very far to walk. It's most fun if you do it at night, because you can see the lights of the Strip as you're sailing through the air. My next recommendation is something that's a bit off the beaten path. In fact, you'll probably have to take a Lyft or an Uber to get there. It's sometimes called Area 51, also known as a Mega Mart, and also known as Meow Wolf. But it is something absolutely incredible. This has been described as an immersive multimedia art experience. It's a mixture of retro and futuristic, kind of like Twilight Zone meets Pleasantville. It's very difficult to describe it. You really just need to go and experience it. Whether you're into history or ocean travel or just a fan of the movie Titanic, another thing worth seeing in Vegas is the Titanic exhibit at the Luxor. This exhibit contains actual artifacts from the Titanic, as well as reproductions of the staterooms and interesting information about the passengers and the crew. It's definitely worth seeing. Now, the day we went, June 2nd, they were still requiring masks at the Titanic exhibit. Most of Las Vegas did not require a mask if you're fully vaccinated, but I still recommend carrying one with you because a few places do. On our last day in Vegas, we decided to take the Deuce Bus up to Freemont Street and experience the downtown Vegas. Fremont Street has a lot of casinos, a lot of restaurants, a lot of shops, similar to things on the Strip, but it's just a different atmosphere. It's a little edgier, a different vibe. For example, you don't find any couture shops or designer bags on Fremont Street, but instead you'll find great deals on t-shirts, souvenirs, the tacky little knickknacks you might want to take home with you. Another piece of advice, if you bought stuff in Vegas and don't have enough room to carry it on the plane, there's a post office a block away from Fremont Street. You can go right in, pack your items, and ship it home. Well, these are a few of my favorite things for this Vegas trip. Do you have a favorite thing in Vegas? If so, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Have a fabulous day. Peace, love, and light.